What if I told you that the single greatest obstacle standing between you and your life-changing dinar wealth isn't a political conspiracy in Iraq or a delay from the IMF, but a simple, mundane, and utterly unprepared teller at your local bank branch? Let that sink in for a moment. After all the years of waiting, decoding guru reports, and following every flicker of news, your entire fortune could hinge on a bank employee who has never heard of a dinar revaluation and whose computer system has no button to process your transaction. The shocking, undeniable truth that no guru will dare to tell you is that the global banking system is not just unready for a mass dinar redemption, it is actively hostile to the very concept. Think about the sheer, mind-boggling scale of what you're imagining. Millions of investors, each holding millions or even billions of dinars, all descending upon bank branches simultaneously. The system you plan to walk into, the one that struggles with a simple mortgage application for weeks, is expected to seamlessly process transactions that would dwarf the GDP of small nations in a single day. It's a logistical impossibility, a fantasy that collapses under the slightest scrutiny. Your local bank vault doesn't hold trillions of dollars in cash. It holds enough for daily business, some tens of thousands, maybe a few 100,000. The notion that they will have pallets of cash waiting for you is a dangerous delusion. The entire modern financial world runs on digital entries, not physical currency stockpiles. So where is this money supposed to come from? The Federal Reserve doesn't have a secret warehouse just for dinar holders. The Treasury isn't running drills for this event. The silence from these institutions isn't a strategic secret, it's a deafening confirmation of their ignorance. And then comes the real wall you will hit: compliance. The moment you place your dinars on that counter, you will cease to be a valued customer and will instantly become a suspected money launderer. You will trigger a cascade of mandatory Know Your Customer and anti-money laundering protocols that are designed to freeze, not facilitate, large, unusual currency transactions. Your funds will be placed on hold, your identity scrutinized, your source of wealth questioned under oath, and your entire life put under a financial microscope for weeks, months, or even years. This isn't a scare tactic. This is the standard operating procedure for any large, unexpected cash injection. The gurus who chirp about banks being trained cannot produce a single FDIC circular, a single internal memo from Wells Fargo or Bank of America, or a single training manual that outlines the process for a dinar RV. This evidence does not exist. Instead, what exists is a rigid bureaucratic system designed for stability, not for a speculative currency event that exists primarily in online forums. Believing that this system will magically transform overnight to serve you is the most catastrophic assumption you can make. It sets you up for heartbreak, confusion, and potentially legal entanglement at the very moment of your expected triumph. The dream isn't just threatened by external forces. It's built on a foundation that cannot support its own weight. The readiness isn't just missing. The entire architecture for it is a fiction. Your first and greatest battle will not be in waiting for the RV, but in navigating the impossible reality that awaits you the morning after the announcement. The system is not waiting for you with open arms. It's completely oblivious to your existence, and that is the most terrifying truth of all. So you've survived the initial shock of understanding that the banks are a fortress unprepared for your arrival. Now let's pull back the curtain on an even darker secret. The entire ecosystem of the Iraqi dinar investment is fueled by a self-perpetuating industry that profits from your hope, not your success. Imagine a vast, intricate machine where every cog, from the charismatic guru on your screen to the currency dealer with a slick website, is financially incentivized to keep you in a state of perpetual anticipation. The moment you actually cash out, their revenue stream vanishes. This is the brutal economic truth they never discuss. Let's follow the money trail, a story not of redemption, but of relentless extraction. It begins with the intel providers, the Marks and the Pimpies, whose daily videos and teleconferences are masterclasses in vague prophecy and manufactured urgency. Their language is a carefully crafted tool filled with "any day now," "we're in the window," and "my sources are confirming." Notice they never provide verifiable, on-the-record evidence. That's because their source is the cycle itself. They create a problem, uncertainty, and then sell you the solution. More of their time, their exclusive insights, their premium memberships. They are not journalists. They are performers in a theater of hope, and your viewership, your clicks, your subscription fees are the ticket sales. This fear of missing out, this FOMO they so expertly cultivate, is the engine of their business model. Now follow that trail to the currency dealers. Where do you think the vast majority of these dinars are originally purchased? These dealers often operate with markups of 50%, 100%, or even higher over the actual official exchange rate. They are not noble facilitators of your wealth journey. They are the primary beneficiaries of the speculation frenzy. They rely on the gurus to create the demand that allows them to sell a currency, which is essentially a piece of paper with no current liquid value outside Iraq, for a massive premium. They sell you the dream of a future value, a dream amplified by the very gurus you trust. It's a closed-loop system. The guru creates the hype, the dealer sells the currency, and the investor, left holding the bag, returns to the guru for more reassurance, feeding the cycle all over again. There is no external validation because the entire system is designed to be self-referential. The news you consume is often just recycled guru reports commenting on other guru reports, creating an echo chamber that feels like a global consensus but is, in reality, a very small, very loud room. Where is the coverage from the Wall Street Journal? The analysis from Goldman Sachs? The urgent bulletins from the World Bank? Their silence is another form of evidence. Legitimate financial institutions and credible news organizations do not touch this subject because it lacks the fundamental underpinnings of a real investment. It is a speculative narrative, not a tangible asset class. This industry survives by isolating you from the mainstream financial world, convincing you that they are lying and only we tell the truth. This us versus them mentality is the glue that holds the entire structure together. It preys on distrust of official narratives and replaces it with a seductive, alternative reality where you are part of an enlightened inner circle destined for riches. The greatest trick this machine ever pulled was convincing the world that its failure to deliver was proof of a conspiracy rather than proof of its own inherent fiction. You are not waiting for a global financial event. You are a customer in a brilliantly designed marketplace that sells the most addictive product of all: tomorrow. And as long as you keep buying tomorrow, they will never have to deliver today. Now you stand at a crossroads, armed with the brutal truth about the banks and the cynical industry feeding on your dreams. But this final revelation will be the most personal, the most difficult to accept. Because it forces you to look in the mirror and ask one terrifying question: have I been a savvy investor? Or have I been the willing participant in my own financial delusion? The human mind is a powerful engine for pattern recognition. And when we invest not just money, but our identity, our hope, and our future into a belief, our psychology shifts into a mode of profound self-preservation. This is called the sunk cost fallacy, the inability to walk away from a failing endeavor because of the immense time, emotion, and capital already invested. You have spent years, perhaps decades in this community. You have formed friendships, found a sense of purpose in the daily intel hunt, and built an entire worldview around the inevitability of the RV. To walk away now wouldn't just mean admitting a financial misstep. It would feel like abandoning a part of your very self, your chosen tribe. This emotional investment is the glue that holds the entire narrative together long after the logical foundation has crumbled. Think of the psychological roller coaster you've been on. The gurus provide a constant drip feed of hope, a new intel or a smoking gun document that creates a temporary high, a surge of adrenaline and belief. This is followed by the inevitable crash when the prediction fails to materialize. But instead of causing you to leave, the crash makes you desperate for the next high, the next piece of information that will restore that feeling of imminent victory. This cycle is chemically and emotionally addictive. It mimics the same patterns as a gambler at a slot machine, pulling the lever again and again, believing the next pull will be the jackpot. The machine is designed to give just enough intermittent reinforcement to keep you playing. The gurus are the lever. Your hope is the currency, and the house always wins. Your mind also expertly employs confirmation bias. actively seeking out and remembering information that supports the RV narrative while subconsciously ignoring or dismissing the mountains of contradictory evidence. You watch a 3-hour video that mentions one vague, positive sentence from a CBI report, and you latch onto it as definitive proof, while dismissing the other 99% of the video that is pure speculation. You are, in effect, curating your own reality, building a fortress of hope brick by brick, while the real world outside shouts a different, more complicated truth. This is not a character flaw. It is a universal human trait, one that the Dinar ecosystem is expertly engineered to exploit. They don't need to convince you with facts. They simply need to nurture the part of you that wants to believe. So where does this leave you? It leaves you with a choice that only you can make. You can continue on this path, a passenger on a train that never arrives at its destination, funding the very system that withholds your freedom. Or you can make the most powerful, liberating decision of your life. You can choose to break the cycle. This doesn't mean you have to sell your dinars in a panic. It means you must mentally and emotionally divest from the guru industrial complex. Stop watching the daily videos. Leave the Telegram and Facebook groups that function as echo chambers. Take all the energy, time, and mental bandwidth you've been pouring into this speculation and redirect it. Invest in a tangible skill that increases your earning power today. Research actual regulated financial markets if you are interested in Forex. Start a small side business. Spend that time with your family, creating real memories instead of dreaming of future ones funded by a fantasy. This is your true call to action, the one that leads to genuine, not hypothetical prosperity. The greatest wealth you can acquire right now is not a mythical dinar revaluation. It is your time, your peace of mind, and your freedom from this endless cycle of hope and despair. Reclaim your attention. Reclaim your future. The real key to your fortune was never hidden in a guru's report. It has always been within you, waiting for you to stop looking at the horizon and start building your own kingdom, right here, right now, on the solid ground of reality.